The quality all sounds pretty good. Well, we're late getting into the pre-show because it's already 7:59, but that's because I had to carry a bundle.
I think Ike's still trying to talk to you. I think.
Oh, Ike, we put you in the corner for just a minute, bro. But we'll bring you back. Guys, so I discovered something this past week that I think that we should try. I spent $10. I launched. What's wrong?
I forgot my booze.
Oh shit! You guys, that's a serious faux pas.
I know. It was like, let's have a shot of what? Hold on, it's right here. I just have to grab it.
You can't send your daughter this week to go get the booze.
I can't because she's in the shower and she'll be in there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Damn it! Knocked over my mic. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
I'm looking extra Italian today. Look at this grease that's just coming out of my pores. This is what I use to cook sauce with. This grease. You put it right in there.
Oh, Joe.
Fries up real nice.
Thank you, Daily Ash, for
viewer appreciation freebies.
My God, they're already coming for us. So before we start the show, real quick, Tony and Jeremy, I launched a magazine this past week, yesterday.
We know.
And I have to tell you, I spent a tiny bit of money on Facebook ads, just a small amount.
We won't be able to.
Why?
Because it's smoking.
Are you serious? The podcast
doesn't matter. It'll catch it.
Because we smoke, or because you guys smoke on the show?
Joe Rogan doesn't get fined for smoking on his show.
Yeah, that's because Joe Rogan makes people billions of dollars.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck Joe Rogan.
You heard it here. We don't care that he smokes Foundation cigars. No, but I've already, the magazine already has 200 followers and likes, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, we gotta we should spend a little money, but you're saying we can't.
We could. There's no. What the worst they could say is no.
We can try because we're not.
We should put it in the tagline: anything but a cigar podcast.
Just that word will get us flagged.
All right. Well, we won't. I'll remove any meaning of that. Maybe we can boost it for season 3. Well, I think
Will Marxer should pay for the advertising.
All right, that's what
He
I'll
should
do.
be our advertising director.
I'll send him the bill. Then nothing would give me more pleasure than to send Will Marxist the bill for anything, but that especially I would enjoy. Well, we're already running late. It's 8:02, so I'm going to kick you guys in.
1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, 1 shot.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to the season 2 finale of 4 Shots. Jeremy, we haven't really
fireworks.
We didn't really talk at all this week. I feel like the whole week went by really quickly. We haven't talked on the phone or anything.
No, I know. When we talked, we were the other day, we were oh crap. We hadn't done our normal shtick. It's not a shtick. We went by it just went by very quickly. So, hey,
I just realized
to start off this finale.
Cheers, everybody! Thank you for putting up with us. This is our 28th episode, which is exactly 1/2 a year. I just realized.
And people, please share this. Bring them into the mix right now. We want to get some bodies in here, some warm bodies. Cheers.
Shot number 1.
Salute.
The first one is always so tough.
You know what's funny is today I was like, most of the Tuesdays I'm like, it's like, all right, let's do this. I was looking forward to it because it's been like such one of those days. I was just like, shot time. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah, I was telling Brandon earlier, no matter what day we would do this on, it seems like there's a million other fucking things that I have to do that day. Like tomorrow, there's going to be nothing, right? Nothing's going to happen. But today it was like every single thing that could possibly happen in a day had to happen today. And it's like I'm almost like I'm running in the house at 6 o'clock and like scarfing down food because I don't want to die. And then it's showtime. But it's like every other day, like Thursday, I like sat around the house and nothing happened. Like my phone didn't ring. Not a thing happened. But then today is like I run around all day. And it's just nice to come hang out with you guys on a Tuesday night.
Come hang out. I ate some slices of turkey because I was like, I need something in my belly. So I literally, before we came on, was scarfing just straight turkey, unseasoned. And I was like, this is boring, but I need something in my stomach. Let's do it.
Savage. You are savage. Well, we got a really cool show today, right?
Yes, we do.
We got Worst of the Week coming here soon, in a minute. But we have a very good friend of ours, someone who we've done way more than 4 shots with, coming on the show tonight. It usually happens in Vegas or Cleveland or really anywhere we're together.
Yeah, you know, I would bet to say that I think the majority of the time we've drank together is when we're all ready, and I mean this as well as him, we're already at a 10.
Yeah, because we'll run into him at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
like,
and then we're like, let's do shots and let's hang. And then all of a sudden we're like, you know, in the morning, I'm like, I remember seeing you, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, what did we talk about? It doesn't matter. We were wasted. And that's our relationship with our guest today. But let's get into Brandon's favorite segment, which is Worst of the Week. Brandon, what do you got for us?
Work on a newspaper is people working as a team. At the copy desk, the editor selects the news and photos for an issue and plans the estimated space on a miniature newspaper page, sometimes called a dummy.
What is up, guys?
Oh, you
Hey,
got
Brandon.
You got the Turkey 101 behind you?
I do. I got the wild turkey. This is in honor of Jeremy's unseasoned turkey meat. I guess put this in right there. You know,
That's quick thinking.
I know it was that fast, but this is my go-to on the shelf all the time bourbon. It's you know, the most bang for your buck. You know, it's like $20.
Hey, before you do the Worst of the Week, I think this is a fair question. Well, wait, we already can answer. I was going to say, what is a cheap alcohol that's a go-to for you at any time? But we already know Tony's is Tito's.
Tito's, that's right. Tito's is
I
always.
actually had one called White Diamond last week. I was going to drink it for the show, but I got it on Thursday and I drank all the samples that he gave me to drink on the show. And I think I talked about that last week.
You did. You said it last week.
I was like, dude, listen, if you give this to me now, it's not going to make it to Tuesday.
It won't make it.
But it was really good.
Yeah.
White Diamond, shout out.
Mine would be my go-to for like any bar, Jameson.
I do like Jameson. It's strangely expensive though. Like even at the grocery store, like buying a bottle of Jameson is way more than it is to buy a wild turkey.
No, it isn't. It's $18. What grocery store are you going to?
Giant Eagles.
Yeah, well, Giant Eagle. Guess what? We need your endorsement.
Sponsor us, the state liquor. Well, guys, we're here back again for Worst of the Week, where I share 4 wild, weird, kind of crazy or upsetting stories from the week that I have found. And then we vote and determine which one was the worst of the week. And it comes in a lot of forms, but I just want to put this out here in the future. If anybody listening or watching comes across a story and you think it's a good contender for Worst of the Week, you can email us the link to that story at 4shotshow@gmail.com. That's 4shotshow, the number 4 at the start, show
Or
at
if you want to
gmail.com.
send us hate mail,
Or
it's
you
fine.
can send us bad reviews,
Well,
1-star
apparently-
reviews.
from what we found out today that my name is attached to the email, so so Brandon responds as me anyway. So we just have at it.
Will Marxist, listen. He just knows he can get on the show. That you don't even know the kinds of updates that are coming for season 3. I just am
He doesn't
trying.
believe us.
No, so I'm going to stop addressing. I'm going to stop giving him the satisfaction of being on there. But so let's get to the first story.
Let's do a shot first. Let's do a shot first.
Oh, okay.
You don't got to play the thing or anything. We just do it.
I just accidentally ashed in my shot glass.
Oh God! This is gonna be.
No, we're
bad show, guys.
Okay, let's just do it from because
All right.
I'm not like there's like a chunk. I'm gonna try to.
Shot number 2.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Brandon.
Okay, let's get to our first story of the week. Without further ado, oh God, it's burning my throat. We have a lawsuit that alleges from foodandwine.com. Lawsuit alleges that Subway's tuna salad does not contain any actual tuna. Connecticut-based sandwich chain Subway is facing yet another lawsuit over its ingredients. One alleging that the tuna salad used in its sandwiches and wraps does not contain any actual tuna.
What is it?
According to the Washington Post, the lawsuit claims that Subway's tuna is made from anything but tuna. According to the article, an attorney representing one of the two plaintiffs says that samples of the fish were collected from sandwiches purchased at multiple Subway locations in California. Oh, Jeremy, it's out your way. And submitted for independent.
I don't eat Subway.
All right. Well,
You think Jeremy eats fresh? Whatever that means.
No, I go
But-
to Jimmy John's.
Well, to answer your question, though, Tony, says the attorney declined to discuss the exact results of the test. But beyond saying that it was, quote, not tuna and, quote, not fish.
You know what's funny is
But he doesn't say what it is at all.
It will not address the results of the test, just that it is not tuna and not fish.
I love that because that is like I love tuna sandwiches, but I actually have not had the one from Subway. But it makes me want to go get it right now because I want to know what I'm like. It's like
now that you know it's not tuna, you're gonna want to try to figure out what it is.
No,
What
it's
it
like
is.
Jack in the Box tacos. Like you don't have Jack in the Box, I don't believe, out there in the Midwest.
No.
Okay, but we have these tacos and they're amazing. And they're like drunk food or high food or anytime food, but anything after 2 a.m. And like they're so good, but they're not meat. It's not meat in it. It tastes like meat.
I really don't care. Like, just don't like. To me, it's like I really whatever. As long as I'd actually almost seeing the inside of some Subways, I'd almost rather it not be actual tuna, because I don't think that they could take care of it enough.
To
Like
keep
they
it
can
fresh.
keep it, to keep it
It's
fresh
fish.
or whatever it is. I would rather it not be tuna. Now, if you guys are Seinfeld fans, I don't know if you are. There was a Seinfeld episode where the local fat-free yogurt.
Yes.
You remember the fat-free yogurt episode?
Yeah.
Where they claimed it was fat-free, but they didn't believe them, and then it ended up having a ton of fat in it. So I think it's kind of the same thing. Okay, I'm not like that worse
People-
of a week about it. I'm not that surprised.
You're
Well,
not.
no,
that
I mean
surprised.
it's like California rolls at most places. They call it crab in there, but it's actually like crawfish and stuff like that. and like
monkfish, right?
Imitation crab, right?
Yeah, like because the cost of it, and it's like, oh, no wonder they're like that inexpensive at a lot of places because they're using like swamp fish. But guess what? I love crawfish, so I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Dennis Bartelmo says that Jack and Crack tacos are soy meat. Is that true?
Oh yeah, that actually is what it is. But it's
Okay.
funny because like they never promoted it as a vegan thing. And by the way, TLE, what up?
What's up, TLE? Let's go to our next story. Tony and he actually asked if I had put this in, but I already had it.
You know, Will
Yeah.
Marxist is going to go bananas over this.
Yeah, Will Marxist. Yeah, you can. I'm going to ban you from the chat for the next few seconds. We're going to talk a little bit about stonks. The GameStop's stock surge continues as small traders band together to push up stocks. If you haven't heard about this story, it's a little too much for me to get into completely, but suffice to say, a lot of hedge funds have lost billions and billions of dollars because some people on Reddit banded together to squeeze. They call it a short squeeze. There's a lot of technical terms that I don't fully understand, but Tony has some insight on this. What you already knew about this, Tony?
Right. So basically, I was trying to think of a good way to explain a short stock to somebody. And the best way that I could come across it was I noticed that AirPods are on sale now, and the lowest price that AirPods have ever been. So shorting a stock is basically like, hey, Brandon, can I borrow your AirPods?
Sure.
Jeremy wants AirPods. So
I don't like things in my ears.
Okay. So the really expensive one. So I sell Brandon's AirPods to Jeremy right after I buy them off of Brandon for $200. Then Brandon says, hey, what about borrowing my AirPods? Can I have them back? And I wait until the AirPods go on sale for $100. And then I just buy them and give them back to you, therefore netting me a profit of $100. I don't know if I said 2 or 150 at the beginning, but either way.
Hey, on our coffee and cigars this week, that was actually like Will broke it down for us because we were talking. This obviously came up, because like over the end of last week, and it was cool because hey, everybody. Will Marxist that's in here, give him your stimulus check so he can make you some cash. Don't spend that shit. No, I'm giving financial advice.
No, we're not here. The legal disclaimer, we are not a financial institution, nor can we help you spend your money on anything other than cigars or this podcast.
No, but will make you rich, bitch.
Well, what I want to say is, how does this qualify for worst of the week? It's not the people buying the stocks and making money. We're not qualifying them. But for the assholes at the hedge funds who lost upwards of $80 billion, they had a worst week here. They are a qualifier for having the worst of the week.
But let me say something about that. So I don't fully think that the hedge fund managers should be thrown to the wolves, because I have some ETFs and I have some other things.
This should be good. So I can't wait to hear this.
I trust in the market to invest in what I believe that the funds and the ETF should be invested into, right? Whether that's short stock or whether that's whatever it is. Where I have a problem is with the brokerage houses that have banned people from trading the stock, because that's a free market, right? The free market is you being able to trade stock with whoever you want, whenever you want. So these guys come out with the commission-free kind of trading platforms for retail traders, but they, like Robinhood, makes most of his money, from what I understand, off of hedge funds basically betting on what other people are buying. So my problem is those retail trading outlets banning people from being able to do whatever they want to do. That's my issue.
Yeah, I get that. It's an interesting story. It's been a thing that's been all over the news. I actually bought 10 shares of AMC stock, and I had a bad day. I'm down. I'm down on the AMC stock, but
I think GameStop has dropped to 100% today to like $200. Was it 400?
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of that was manipulated today because I tried to buy more AMC stocks, and for most of the day until like 2:00, they were locked up. You couldn't buy them. It was all fucked up. But let's move away from the area of finance. We're going to go to the complete other end of the mathematical spectrum. You see, when I was growing up, it was kind of one of the most uncool things, but it has like blown up in recent, like in the last probably 5 to 10 years. Dungeons and Dragons is a very popular thing. Now, this tweet is from earlier today, but has already gone viral. That Dungeons and Dragons is going to be producing a character show, live people playing the games, but they're going to do a Muppet style show. And you'd be like, well, what the fuck does this have to do? How is this a worst of the week? Well, they've received a little backlash for one of their puppets designs, and I cannot oversell how much this, if you loved the Muppets growing up, how this may scar you. Here we go. Yes. What you see here is a Muppet with tits. And we'll just,
wow, it just happened. It was like it was gone and then it was there.
It's like Elmo's mommy.
It's a disturbing thing.
It's like Elmo's mistress, more like.
Wow.
People all over the internet have been questioning why the hell someone would design a Muppet with enormous puppet titties. Puppet titties. We should get. Can we get hashtag? Let's put that in the chat. Can we get this going? Hashtag puppet titties. And we're here just to report on the Dungeons and Dragons. I was worried that they might have pulled this image from their Twitter before I got a chance to show it. So I actually saved it, which my wife saw the thing in our iCloud, and she's like, "What the hell is this?" So
yeah, what are you looking at?
That's amazing.
It's it's a puppet porn. So now this is not where this story ends, because I would like to ask you, what do you think they would have named puppet titties here? What do you think they would have named this puppet? Any guesses?
I would say they call them Pippies.
Crystal.
Tony? Crystal.
Or Diamond.
Well,
or
I
any other stripper name.
Oh, you mean what's the puppet's name? I thought you said
Yeah.
what are the puppets calling the boobies? And I was
No.
saying Pippies. Okay. Her name is going to be like, I would definitely guess.
Oh,
like,
Embargo Cigars. He says you must remember how ample Miss Piggy was.
well, we could pull up a picture maybe, but I don't really want to litigate. I didn't really want to sign up for this show to litigate Muppet titties. I mean, this is it's not a thing. It's not a thing that I was
going to name her just something like Sarah.
Well, so I cannot tell you. You are not ready for the name for this puppet. But here we go. The name is Areola.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wait. Is this supposed to be best or worst? This is best of the week. This isn't worst of the week.
There's no way
This is amazing.
This is the worst name.
There's no way.
This is the official name. Is Areola Borealis.
This isn't real.
It is 100% real.
That's not the worst. That's the best of the week.
Oh my god! Maybe we could get you remember the knit son from last week, where the mom had hand knit the son.
Yes.
Maybe we could get this. This could be his girlfriend. The knit son could get together with I can't say the name. Areola Borealis.
Hey, if there are any strippers watching us, you have a new name, and that should be your stripper name, because that's the most ingenious.
I don't know what to say, but we will move. We have to move on from Miss Areola, and go to what I personally felt was the worst of the week. This is my vote. I don't normally get a vote, but I'm throwing this in for the worst of the week, and you'll see why. This comes from the local news here in our area, in me and Tony's area, WKBN. A man in Pennsylvania gets prison sentence for firing gun during a brawl in the mall outside of Pittsburgh. Okay, now this just happened within the last 7 days, but I think you'll be shocked to see who was at fault here. Let's see if we can zoom in.
I see it right now.
Brandon Noel was sentenced Thursday to a term of 2.5 to 5 years.
How was your week, Brandon?
Yeah, how'd it go this week, man?
And this was sent to me by multiple friends and family, and they sent the question, is this you? Is this you? Like, just as a joke. And obviously it had to be a joke because let's see, they don't have they don't have the arrested individual, but it is a 23-year-old African American man whom I do not resemble in any way. I really wish the picture had been here. But so Brandon Noel's out here.
Brandon Noel had a bad week.
I mean, it just was crazy because this is my local news. This is we it was pretty crazy when I first saw it. It was kind of funny. But
so another story before we decide worst of the week real quick was my buddy who's a police officer locally here. Was telling me a story about this guy in an apartment, and he got into an argument with his lady and decided to like give her the old scare with the pew pew pew, but instead of like shooting her, he just decided to like shoot the gun to scare her, and he shot it, and it went through 3 apartments.
Oh my God!
So apartment, and hit a guy in the like the thigh. Was chilling on his chair watching TV. So this is worst week for this guy. Mm-hmm. So now he's like all fired up and like, oh, I'll show you, and shoots his gun. Now he's 15 to 20 for attempted murder because it hit the guy in the leg 3 apartments over.
Oh my God.
But I think my vote for worst of the week is definitely.
You want me to recap them real quick?
No, we got him.
We got him.
Okay.
I mean, I think for sure it's the GameStop thing, but I think it's because I would say Aurora Borealis is really bad. Areola Borealis, that's amazing. But I think that the GameStop thing, like a lot of money has been gone, and that sucks for a lot of people, or made, or whatever. But even like if you missed it 12 hours, you could have been a billionaire yesterday and then broke today. So I think that's worst of the week for me.
Jeremy, what's your worst of the week?
Oh, I'm going areola all the way.
Areola Borealis.
Because in this day and age, unless you're making like puppet porn, like you can't use that on the mainstream and make a puppet with gigantic boobied puppets. So I'm going with puppets.
Well, let's take a quick straw poll. If you're in the chat, do you go with Tony's GameStop short stock fiasco, or do you go with Areola Borealis? Which one do you think is the worst for the week? Jennifer Sims already throwing her weight behind Busty Puppets. Amy just laughing. She's just having a good time with our shenanigans here. Oh, Joe goes for GameStop.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I know it's going to be tug. It's going to be a tug.
Hey, we can make Ike could be the
tiebreaker. Let's bring in Ike and have him break the tie. I like that. Jeremy, why don't you introduce our guest, then he can come break the tie.
This is our good friend Ike. We'll tell you more about him once he's on.
That's perfect. What's up, dude?
Am I on?
Is this thing? Hold on. Is this working?
Welcome to the show, man.
I've never been on a pod. This is a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I don't know what you would call it. It's basically a shit show. So do you have any booze?
Shows, but
do you have any booze? Do you have any booze? You want to do a little drink? Have a little drink?
Or are you drinking like a nice old fashioned there?
Yeah, that's real nice.
No,
Brandon's going to do a little bumper here in a sec. So.
Shot number 3.
Oh, so welcome. I don't know if you've been paying attention to our worst of the week so far, but we wanted to get your weigh in on what you thought was the worst of this week.
Absolutely, the was it Dungeons and Dragons Muppets?
Yeah.
With boobs. Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, I know the Muppets. I know Dungeons and Dragons. I don't even know who put those two together. Or is that not truly a Muppet thing? It just looks like Muppets.
Well, I'm curious to see if
I think it looks like Muppets. It's not like endorsed by like Hanson or what is it?
Henson,
like
Henson Puppeteers or whatever it is.
But it's like
Jim
Furries,
Henson.
the movie. Yeah, Henson. Sorry, that's like the Furries, where it's like X-rated, puppet rabbits having sex. Have you ever seen that?
What?
There's a movie called Furries, and it's by Peter Jackson, the guy who did Lord of the Rings, but it's before that. And it's this like B movie where he basically made an X-rated movie of puppets, but because it's puppets, it's not X-rated. It's the like precursor, like Captain, what was that? I mean, America, Team America. It's like,
the South Park guys.
No, not the South Park guy, but like it's pre Team America. Like it's like I think early '90s or mid '90s when this guy made it. Team America, but it's like the OG thing where it's like this super, and you watch it and you're like, you feel gross, and it's puppets. And yeah, that was the type of movie he made before Lord of the Rings.
How many times have you seen it?
Probably 20.
You seem to know a lot about this.
It is funny. It's funny, but like,
he's like after the 12th time, it's not that gross. It's kind of
it's your dog.
When I'm reciting the lines with it, it's just because I'm a part of it.
So I think the consensus is Areola Borealis is the worst of the week.
So I'm 3 for 3.
You are 3 for 3.
Yeah, I should win a trophy.
I'll get you a trophy.
You've got
to make it a puppet with really big boobs.
I'm going to get a crocheted doll of myself sent to you. Anyway, Ike, so we do this thing every week called Fresh Shit. Something that happened to you this week or some cool new product or some cool new thing you've discovered, music, movies, whiskey, wine, cigars, whatever. And then we just talk about it for a second if you're down. If you have something you could think of, Brandon's going to play a little bumper thing, and then we'll get into fresh shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
I don't feel so good.
The mother rhino is giving birth.
Its wrapper is a piece of the original U.S. Constitution.
Coming out of me like lava.
At the rate you're carrying on, that's a small fortune going up in smoke. Well, I like smoke.
Well, you're really doing it, aren't you? You're shitting in the street.
Okay. So fresh shit wise, Jeremy, you got one for us for the week?
Yeah. I just wanted to talk about, there's this product I came across and I thought it was super cool because like, I think, he represents everything that encompasses America. He's a national treasure. And now you can buy a pillow where if you put it one way, it's just a red pillow, or blue or green. You can get it in different colors, or you move it up and it's our own Nicolas Cage. And I'm in love with this pillow of our national treasure.
This is an amazing product. I feel like
it's only $11.
The other side should be John Travolta.
Oh, that would be so.
Oh yeah, a little face-off action. That's an amazing product to me. I don't know. The thing about Nicolas Cage to me is he's like, I feel like Bruce Willis is becoming the next Nicolas Cage, because I've watched some really shitty Bruce Willis movies that have come out on Netflix lately. And I feel like he might be in the movie for like a minute and a half, maybe have 2 lines. But Nicolas Cage goes the full 9 yards on these bad movies.
Yeah. Over and over again.
But I think he was broke, but I guess he's doing whatever he can to make some money.
I mean, all I can say is Con Air. The case gets rested. Like Con Air, come on.
If you guys haven't seen Nicolas Cage losing his shit on YouTube, you have to look it up right now or after the show, because it's amazing.
Not seen that.
Oh my God. Wait, I'll send you the link when we're done. Ike, do you have anything for fresh shit this week?
It's not as riveting as that pillow. And
I feel like that pillow is pretty riveting.
I know. And I live a boring life, but I have started watching a show on Netflix because I'm like probably all of us, especially during this lack of socializing or whatever's going on. I'm always in that search of like the next show, like, you know, what can I binge watch and whatever. So I've started watching this show. I just finished season 1 called Dead to Me. It's on Netflix. And it's basically Kelly Bundy. I don't know what her name is in real life.
It doesn't matter. That's her name. It's Kelly Bundy.
Yeah. It's Kelly Bundy and the chick that played Don Draper's mistress in Mad Men, the neighbor. So those are the two chicks.
Oh, there we go.
And it's like there we go.
Christina Applegate.
There we go.
A hot-headed widow searching for the hit-and-run driver who mowed down her husband befriends an eccentric optimist who isn't quite what she seems.
It's good?
I think it's hilarious. I mean, it's pretty shticky, but, like, it's funny. Christina Applegate, that's her name, is, like, she delivers these lines, like, total potty mouth. It's good. It's good. Because
So
I've tried
it's
some other show. People are throwing around like, oh, you should watch this, you should watch that. I start them, and I'm like, fuck this, you know. Like, oh, is this what's profanity rules on this podcast?
There are none.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say fucking shit.
Together.
So it's a comedy. Together. Yeah, not together. That's what we have to pay the $30,000 for to I don't know who.
Well, what were you going to say that was profane? Because we need it on the show.
He did say it.
Oh, I missed
I
it.
said, like, somebody says, hey, watch this show, and I watch like half an episode. I'm like, fuck this, you know.
Okay. I'm just so used to hearing it, I missed it.
Show. I mean, this is not like The Wire, Soprano. It's not like in that class.
Yeah.
If you're looking for like, and they're 30-minute episodes. This is another thing that agrees.
Oh,
with
even better.
Like ADD / I fall asleep on everything. Either or, you know, either I like can't pay attention or I just let it pass out. But this is like I can get a 33 minutes in, and then but next thing you know, I watch like 5 episodes in a row.
Yes, she is hot.
Did you ever watch House of Lies? House of Lies is like that. It's like that half hour. It's got Don Cheadle in it. They're management consultants. It was on Showtime, half-hour episodes.
No, so is that the one? Like each season, there's different characters. So like, wasn't somebody else famous in a different season?
No, it's all like Don Cheadle plays the main character throughout the whole thing, but they're like management consultants. Yeah, but look that up if you haven't seen House of Lies. You should fucking watch that.
It's on what? Showtime?
Yeah, Showtime.
So that's like another subscription I gotta get or whatever?
You could probably find it somewhere, I'd imagine. Or I could give you my Hulu password and you can just
you can watch it on Hulu.
That's a subtle way of me saying like hook me up.
I know.
Right.
I know you Cleveland Greeks.
I
know
pay,
you Cleveland Greeks.
I pay for Hulu, but I don't pay for Disney Plus. I don't pay you just share them all, and then you get all the channels. It's great. I'll check that show out because I enjoy comedies. Is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's like a dark comedy. It's funny. It is.
Cool.
I mean, it's not like the smartest show you know. Like you're not gonna be like, oh, my head's blown, but you'll laugh. And then I don't know. I'm getting to the end of the first. I just finished the first season. Like it's now I can tell it's gonna get like a little too ridiculous. Like the story gets like too out of like completely.
It's about to jump. It's gonna jump the shark.
Yeah, totally. But we'll see.
Well, when Fonzie's over that shark, that's when you know, okay, I'm done. But hey, sometimes you got to see it through. Like I watched Lost from beginning to end, and when that show jumped the shark, I had to see it through because I had already committed how many years of my life to some stupid show. It started off great.
How do you give up at that point, right?
You can't. You're pot committed. You're like, I know I'm chasing the river, but I got to go for it.
I believe they call that crossing the Rubicon. That was good, right? When you cross the point of no return.
Poker metaphor. I like how you slipped that in.
Hulu.
So My fresh shit is I've discovered another product after I'm on this indoor home goods product. Now, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, the robe with the beer holder. This week is Jambies. Now, I have an issue with my hoodies. Now, granted, I want everybody to know, all 13 of you that are watching the show, that I don't get paid for this. I really like these products. Anyway, these guys have made a hoodie that doesn't slide up when you're like laying on the couch. And I have an issue, like when I lay down on the couch, the hoodie, if I'm in a hoodie, like as a pajama, it like comes up and my guts hanging out the bottom.
It's because you're fat.
Right, but Jambies apparently has this micromodal rib to keep things right where you want them. So I'm going to have to try out some Jambies and see what happens here.
Actually, if you get that and it works and they don't make it in a mint color, I might be into that.
The color's bad. I think they have a black. I think Brandon just chose purple and then he shows a woman. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Do the pants come with it and the dude?
I hope so.
XXL, yes, I know. I'm fat too.
Does it have a plunging neckline for Tony?
Oh, I would just give it a little tear and
how rad would that
neckline has come down?
Yeah, how rad would that be if they made custom hoodies for you that went all the way and then midway it only zips up to there, so like it's exposed. You put it on and it's a deep V, like almost to your belly button, just so you can be high fashion while you wear a hoodie.
I saw, Ike, have you seen, I know Jeremy has not seen these shirts because Jeremy hasn't worn a dress shirt ever, but have you seen these new dress shirts that have the zipper?
No.
No.
No. Yeah, they're dress shirts with a zipper so that you don't like expound your buttons.
Is that one of the things that Matt Booth did in the fashion industry when he made his plastic bow ties? Or
Hey, Brandon.
Well, hey, before
I'm Googling
you guys,
as we speak.
Oh, he wants to look it up, but while he's Googling, I thought I would pull something out from the Brandon and Tony archives before we get talking to Ike about our questions and interviewing him tonight. I thought I would take us in a little time machine down memory lane, all the way back to the year of our Lord 2013. Let's go back in time and let's check this out.
We're not inventing history or making up a story. I mean, we have the history. and we're tapping into the history. I mean,
is this the day we wore purple pants together, Ike? Remember that?
Representative of Nat Sherman. I'm excited about Nat Sherman and what they got going on. Like I was talking to you earlier, it's like the new.
You look 10 years old,
Look
Tony.
how young Tony looks.
Of people in the cigar industry. Mike's young, Ike's young, I'm young. We're kind of getting back to our roots.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what's really exciting about our brand is we are an old brand that we
notice no gray in the beard.
Just revisiting the brand and updating some things and bringing it into today's flavor profile base and the timeless collaboration between Michael Herklots, the Sherman family, the Quesada family. Really fantastic cigar.
I thought I would start off our interview.
Tony,
time
were you of legal drinking age when you made that?
I was a year into La Barba when I made that. That was a year after La Barba started. Yeah,
but I mean, like, were you old enough to smoke and drink? That's what I'm asking. That doesn't.
And this is what the cigar industry does to us. Look at us. I mean, look at the three of us. This is the cigar industry. This is what it's done to us.
Yeah, but
I never looked better.
Wait, hold on. Not was Tony legal to drink. Were you legal to be selling booze at that bar there?
Probably not. I have received some citations for not having a liquor license and other things, but Youngstown, as they say, works itself out.
It's funny they put that up there. So I remember this like crystal clear. I used the word Harkins in that little montage or whatever that is, and Herc for years, even now to this day, he'll say something like, "Remember when you said the fucking word Harkins?" He's like, "What does that even mean?" I'm like, it like reminds you of the old days. I don't know.
Harkins back.
Sounded good. Harkins back. Yeah.
Only
is that a
redneck.
Youngstown thing? It might be a Youngstown thing.
It just makes me happy to know that Herklots saw the video that I produced. That's all I want to say. It makes me happy.
He did.
That is
So
you remember when we? Oh, actually, you know what? We have a question. We always ask when a guy first comes in, and we actually get to the meat of the interview, aside from the fun, is we always kind of ask this, like, what was your kind of aha moment where you were like, yeah, I want to give up on life and be in the cigar industry? Like, what was that moment where you abandoned all dreams and aspirations in life and decided to join
the land of misfits?
But I mean, like, what was the moment when you were like, you know, was it a cigar you smoked and you were like, oh, I get this, I want to be a part of it? Or like, what was the experience that kind of led you down the path of what you have done in the industry?
You know, I started working at a retail store when I was, well, not even legal to be in the tobacco. I was 17. So I really never had any other dreams about real life, because that's like kind of what I knew. But I think it was, you know, and then I worked in the store, and then I went to college, and I worked in a cigar store in college, and then I got out of school, and I thought I was living in New York. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a finance guy, whatever the fuck that means. But like, that's what you do. You go to college, you get like an economics degree, you live in New York City, you go, and then 9/11 happened. And that whole industry kind of, you know, the financial world was like, you know, we're not hiring. Like, so I went back to the cigar store one of the, you know, the guy owned 4 stores in Manhattan, Barclay Rex. And I started working there again just to like make some money while I figured out what the hell was going on. But soon thereafter, I went on a trip to the Davidoff Factory. And it was kind of like, that's actually where I met Michael. It was now a dear friend of mine, Herklots, and it was like just seeing, that was the first factory I'd ever been to. Meeting him, meeting other retailers from around the country, and just kind of really, you know, prior to that, it was like I worked in Cleveland in a cigar store, then I worked in New York in a cigar store. I mean, I knew about stuff, I knew some people, but I wasn't really like in the culture and in the business. And that's really where I kind of started to I shouldn't say started to, I really got sucked in. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. You know, they had, you know, tons of US retailers. There were some international retailers. They had Davidoff people from Switzerland and all over. And I was like, wow, this is pretty amazing. And that's really, when I came back from that trip, I said to myself, I don't know what this is going to turn into, like in terms of a career, and obviously nothing, but I was like, I'm in on this thing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's, so I guess that's kind of but I never, there was never, the
let's do a shot to that.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to.
Shot number 4.
Cheers.
Which is
to add to that, I had a question. Was Michael working for Nat Sherman when you met him down there? Was he working at the store then?
No. He was working for Davidoff. So when I met him, this was like, I don't know, 2003 or 2000. Yeah, probably maybe 2003. He was working for Davidoff, and I was working for Barclay Rex. We were not worried. I mean, they still are. That was an old line New York City tobacconist, like 1910. Actually, older than Nat Sherman. And yeah, that was the trip I met him on. And then we'd be friends. I mean, we weren't like competitors. He was in Midtown. Our stores were mostly focused in downtown financial district. But we shared some customers, but we were, we would check in on each other. We would see each other at just trade shows and different places like that, and different cigar events and shit like that. And then Well, I don't even know what the fuck happened then. Well, then he went to Nat Sherman. And then I kind of left the industry for a bit, then worked for a for Miami Cigar Company as a salesman, and then that's when I joined Nat Sherman. So yeah, we knew each other. I don't know, probably 6-7 years before we worked together.
Isn't it kind of funny? I think all three of us can like say in this that none of us necessarily set out to be cigar guys. You know, like industry guys. It's like I worked retail, and then I started repping, but I only switched from retail to repping because I wanted the opportunity to make more financial, like more money at it, right? And I wanted to see that end of it. And I went to factories and saw it, and I kind of like it. You know, this term passion of the leaf gets used a lot in our industry, and it's like, yes, that's true because we do love cigars, we do love tobacco, but it's like it's kind of weird. I never like if you asked me when I was in college, what am I going to do? I never would have said, "Oh, I'm going to be like in the cigar industry for the, you know, for the next 20 years." And I'm already now from retail to where I am now. I'm 20 plus years, 21 years, and that's crazy. That's half my life. I've now been in an industry that I never set out to actually be in, except I love cigars. And like it's somehow one job led to the next, and it's like just been this kind of odd journey. And you've had a pretty, you know, interesting. No, Abe, I think you're right. Like I don't know, maybe some people, but it's what I find interesting is you you're kind of the guy, even though you were in stores and your feet were on the ground, that's a little bit more behind the scenes, which is part of the reason like we wanted to have you on here, because like there's always the companies, like let's just take ours for example, because we can relate to it. You have Robert Caldwell, you have Tony Bellotto, and then I basically do all their jobs for them, right? So that they can get all the credit, right? And I know, like, and I only say that in love, you know, but there's like, you know,
but
a
it's
company
true.
has to run. A company has to run, and so you have a face of it, and then you have people that are
very
like
beautiful face.
Yeah, you have the beautiful face, and then you got the guys that look like this. But then again, Ike, you look way better than I do, though. So, like, you know, yeah. But like we've interviewed, you know, brand owners, we've interviewed reps, we've interviewed retailers, and we've never talked to people that are like kind of the business end of behind the scenes that help build companies. And like, I wanted to throw back to like Nat Sherman because I find it really interesting. Like when we started Caldwell, we had no negative connotation because we were a new brand. You went aboard with her clocks to Nat Sherman, who had been around and was essentially kind of a dead brand. And I find that even more challenging what you guys accomplished than any new brand, because there's a perception that already exists, good or bad. There's an association with a brand, and to revitalize it, like, how the fuck did you do that?
A lot. I think it starts with believing in it, right? So I don't feel like when we started running around the country talking to retailers, doing events, meeting consumers, you know, you had to believe your own shit. Yeah, it harkens back to believing in it. And that's actually what I think I said in that video is like, we didn't create a story. We just started telling the story that needed to be told about this, you know, heritage brand that started in 1930, the way the brand developed, you know, the guy, Nat Sherman, how he acquired a cigar store, how he acquired a cigar manufacturing facility, a brand, Epoca, and like this whole really cool fucking story that, you know, he won it in a poker game. And then he got a lobby shop because he basically gave a guy a loan and the guy couldn't pay him. So he said, hey, I'll give you free rent in a store. And the guy was like, what am I do with the store? All right, I'll make a cigar store because I won this fucking cigar brand in a poker game and I don't know where to sell the cigars. And now I got a free retail store and I'm going to start selling the cigars there. And like, this is a cool story, like authentic.
It's very Jewish, like Jewish mafia in the 1900s to
New
me.
York, real.
Yeah,
authentic.
New York.
So it's like,
yeah.
We didn't have to go out and create something. There was stories and interesting facts and all kinds of cool shit that nobody knew, or they knew, 50 years ago and forgot, or those people died or whatever. So
but you still had to create relevance, and you guys did. Like the market has changed. Man. It wasn't 19.
Yeah, but that's Michael. He's a magician, I mean, he's the master of creating the relevance. I guess he created a relevance for the brand, and I tried to create the relevance for the retailer, right? From the trade perspective, like what does this mean for you? How are we different than other companies? How do we support you differently? And from a very small standpoint, not like we have a million people out there doing events and all this stuff. Like, how can we partner with you in an appropriate way for the size company we are? And I use pity and, like, help a brother out. Let's try, all the tactics you can use. But at the end of the day, we felt very confident in the product and in the brand and what we stood for and the ethics of the family and that, and how we did business. And, it grew from there. So, I mean, it was a lot of hard work, especially in the beginning. I mean, walking into retailers, flying to, like, I don't know where, fucking, you name a city, going there and being like, all right, I got a list, like these 10 guys I got to go see. Walking in the door and they're like, yeah, I carried your shit 20 years ago. Nobody cares about it anymore. Thanks. And just doing that over and over again. But then it kind of like, when you start to build a little, I don't want to say critical mass, but you start to build a little momentum, and then, people talk, and then they're like,
yeah,
hey, I'm doing well with this. And then, you start, and then guys you thought never would participate, talk to a few guys, and they're like, hey, I'm selling some of this stuff. The consumers are reacting positively. And then it just starts to build a little bit. So, but you guys know it's
overnight. It's a grind of grinds. It's like us doing this show, right? Like we do it week after week, hoping that one more person shows up. And when you do, we salute you and thank you.
Let's do a shot to that then.
I'm just going to the bottle.
Yeah.
Shot number 5.
It's actually, oh boy.
What?
Well, I was going to bring it to the next question, but if you have something to add.
No, go for it.
By the way, I didn't know this was an interview. I thought we were shooting the shit, but this is good.
We are. But I have questions for you. Either way, I would still have questions for you.
That's true.
Ike in the back of his mind is saying, fuck you guys. You roped me into this. And we're like, what are you talking about?
There's we have like 25 questions. We've only asked you one. That's good, right? No, there's Brandon. There's the boss.
Oh, okay.
The title of the episode is Culture Shock, right? And we were talking about it. It's like, so you went from Nat Sherman, which is very like Brioni suits and very like, like
posh.
This. Yeah. To
no zippered button downs. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. No zippered button downs. But you went from there to Drew Estate, which you are there now. Was there like a culture shock as far as like management or like any sort of like anything that happened that was weird for you? Because the Drew Estate culture is very different than the Nat Sherman culture in that the people that enjoy the products. Not saying either one is better or worse. I'm just saying that's like the culture, the general culture that is associated with like acid and tobacco special. The guys wear a lot of denim rings.
It's
Nat
like
Sherman,
you went
Brioni.
from like it's like you went from like classical listening to Bach to like Run DMC, right? Like they're both good at what they do.
I'm just wondering if there was a culture shock between the two companies.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because both are extremely authentic and are extremely.
I believe that actually.
What's the word?
Like true to form, kind of, maybe.
What's that?
Like true to form, like they are exactly what they are
No, actually, no. I think Drew Estate actually forget about we'll talk about the consumer side of Drew Estate for a second, but from like a company, it is very authentic, and the beauty of it is everybody can be exactly who they are.
That's awesome.
And that could be that. I mean, literally, that could be. We go to a trade show, and I might have a suit and tie on, because, contrary to popular belief, I wore suit and ties before Nat Sherman. I mean, when I worked retail in New York, we wore suit and ties or jacket and ties at Barclay Rex, and that's just how I feel more comfortable.
I used to wear a suit when I worked for Hertz. Hertz rental car.
You see him just blinking? Just like you blew his mind.
I worked for Hertz rent a car, and I used to wear a blue suit.
So I don't know about Hertz, but no, seriously. I have been told, and I've never hired somebody, but I've been told, like, if you meet somebody, if you're looking for a salesperson and they have an Enterprise rent a car on their resume, they're like, Enterprise is one of the most phenomenal training, like extensive training session, regiments through their upbringing, and like from the guy that just brings you to the car all the way through their life cycle of their program. And I would imagine Hertz is similar.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, no, it's insane. It's a month-long course off-site where it's like they literally do role playing and ask you to like ask open-ended questions and like teach you. And I know it's the same for Enterprise because they hearkened a lot to Enterprise's training, and it is absolutely the same. It's like intense, but that actually helped me become a salesman in the cigar realm. Like the stuff I learned there.
No, I believe that. Like I said, I mean, I've heard really great things. I mean, look, we're in a small industry. Like, as big as the companies in our industry and the smallest of the companies, nobody's got like robust training programs. Like, you're like, hey, here's your samples, here's your call list, here's your
have fun,
whatever, go sell cigars. And people that I've found that I've hired or worked with throughout the years that have come from some kind of like different background, they've got such a different level of training about, like you said, asking open-ended questions, active listening, different things like to really engage the customer. So it's, yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me that it shocks me you wore a suit, but it doesn't shock me you came from Hertz.
In the past 10 years, I've worn a suit twice. One was in New Orleans at the trade show. So Rob and I crashed the Davidoff dinner. You had to be in a suit. This is a black tie event. And the other one was a funeral. And I have like 10 suits. Okay, I don't have 10 suits. That's a lie. I was
going to say 10 suits.
I have like 10 suit coats.
I would say
head to toe.
I would predict like a black and a gray and a blue for you.
I have a black, a blue, and a gray, and a corduroy. That's my fave.
Is it brown corduroy?
Yes, it is. Actually, it's a beige
patches?
Brown.
You get the patches?
Fuck yes, I do. It's like straight out of like a disco land, but they're not bell bottoms. Like, that's my favorite thing. If I want to like look snazzy, I'm like, want to see me in my corduroy?
I like that you followed protocol in terms of dress code to crash the party. You're like, I had to wear a suit. It was a fancy party. I'm crashing. Like, but if you're crashing, can't you just show up?
No, because it's a black tie event, so they won't let you in unless you're dressed.
So you were like incognito. You were like sneaking in, not really like crashing it.
Well, Yeah, because so Rob has his hotel humidor, so he got us in because he's a customer of Davidoff. And then we sat down at the table and people are like, why are you guys here? It's for the Golden Band Awards at the trade show. And we're like, we just wanted free dinner and to smoke some good cigars. Unfortunately, that was the year the Yamasa came to market and we were less than impressed. Sorry, people. But everything else I love from Davidoff.
You're like, hey, I brought a suit to Las Vegas. I needed somewhere to wear it.
No, it was in fucking New Orleans. And then after, Rob's like, no, I don't want to get a cab. Let's just walk back. And we walked 2 miles in the frickin' from where they hold all the parade, the like
Bourbon Street.
No. Where they hold the like festival parade floats. That's where Davidoff held their dinner. And so we walked back and we were like, and I remember someone running into us, a retailer, and he started laughing because me and Rob were in suits. And I was like, well, I got free dinner out of it. What do you want? You know, Ike, it's funny because there is, I think we had met before it. We had, but I remember our very first year at our trade show, prior to the show opening, we were right next to you guys, like kind of catty corner to you, where Nat Sherman was. And I remember an experience with you. That's kind of my first super memorable experience with you was I was giving a pep talk to my guys prior to the show.
Oh, I remember that. You ripped your shirt off.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice. I remember that.
I was pretending I was a WWF wrestler screaming. And then I remember you came over because we got coffee from you the whole show. And because we'd walk over and could you please refill our coffee? Because we didn't.
Please refill our coffee, Nat Sherman.
Please, sir, may I have some more? And we did that the whole show. But I remember you coming up and you were like laughing, and you were like, that wouldn't work with my company, And I was looking at the two of us, and I was like, I guess we're both like where we're supposed to be, right? Like because it represented who you were. And me screaming, tearing my shirt off like Hulk Hogan, kind of represented whatever the fuck Caldwell Cigars is, whatever that is. It's an unknown ethos.
Yeah.
But that is one of my first I think I had met you actually prior at Maximar's was the first time I met you when I was a retailer.
Yeah, at Mars. Yep. I don't know if you were working there still or if you were like home officing there.
That's a good question. I don't remember, but I know we had
that New Orleans that same night. The dream team. I ran into the dream team of Nat Sherman at the hotel. Andrew Brennan, AB, Ike, and
Has he been on the show? You need to have AB on the show.
No, he won't. He won't answer me. He won't answer my text messages or anything. I think he's trying to stay way away from the shenanigans these days.
You're a greasy Italian. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Yeah.
But that trade show, funny story. After that, my manager, he didn't sleep in his hotel room one night that entire trade show. You remember Brian fell asleep by the pool.
I can tell you so many Brian stories from that show, and you have all your own stories that some probably intermingle.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, it was like we got off the plane, we're getting to the hotel, and he's standing in the lobby of that. I don't know, it was a Hilton or a Hampton Inn, but it kind of looks like old school New Orleans, even though it's like a chain hotel. And he's got a beer. It's like this tall. It's like sorry, I don't know how to use this camera. It's like a Tecate or some kind of 40-ounce can of beer, and he's standing there.
Yep.
And it's 2 p.m. And then every morning I'd wake up and I'd go down by the pool, and he'd be turning over.
Sleeping by the pool.
Yeah.
So our Oliva guy goes down the last day of the trade show, and it's like noon because the show starts at noon or whatever, the last day. And he comes up to me and he's like, dude, I thought your boy was dead. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I saw him asleep at the pool, and I nudged him and I was like, Brian, wake up, and he wouldn't wake up. So I did the fingers under the nose test to see if he was breathing, and I could feel his breath. So I shook him a little bit, and it was 12:30 ish. And he finally got up, and he didn't spend one day in his hotel room.
Was that the show that he missed his flight home? I mean, Brandon put it out there, but I remember.
That
was. Yeah,
that was when his girlfriend randomly showed up to surprise.
Yeah.
Randomly. I remember that too.
Yeah.
The other thing I remember, kind of as we were coming into New Orleans, I saw him like that, and then as we were leaving, I remember checking out, ready to go get in the cab to the airport, and he was standing in that same spot with another Tecate this big. It was clearly not the same one, And literally, I don't know how long you at the show, 4 or 5 days, 3 days, whatever it is, 4 days. He looked like he had aged 10 years. He had lost 20 pounds, which 20 pounds on that guy is 40% of his body weight.
Yeah, he weighs 100 pounds per year.
Yeah, he was gray as my vest. I was like, whoa, this guy, he put on decades of life in 3.5 days of New Orleans. It was unbelievable. But he's a good kid. Is he doing well?
Yeah, he's doing great. He's actually having a baby. He is going back to law school. Oddly enough, ever since he left Havana House, he's been doing wonderful. Which is why would that happen?
Havana House is like the peach pit.
Not shocking.
It's like a time capsule. The peach pit. Those who know what I'm saying. And it's you don't graduate until you either get fired or leave or arrested. It's one of the three, and then all of a sudden you then you progress in life. I have spent more nights at Havana House all night, plus mornings at Havana House than any other shop, except for the one that I worked at because I used to sleep there. Shh, don't tell anybody.
No, I wanted to bust your chops for a second. On your LinkedIn.
By the way, typically when you bust chops, you don't start with kind of saying, I'm going to bust your chops. You just go right in.
Right, but I wanted to give you fair warning.
Hey, I'm going to hit you. Get ready.
Because on your LinkedIn, it says that you are Director of Sales and Specialty Retail. I haven't seen you in a while. I need to see you. I feel like I'm a special retailer.
Oh, that's not busting chops. That's Havana House punches. Have you heard of COVID? Just saying. Just saying, buddy. Fuck you. Sorry, I'm answering for you.
There's a few things.
I miss you.
Have you heard of COVID?
No.
Have you heard of COVID? B of all, you don't spend any time in your stores.
Also true. You win.
C of all, if you do, it's not during kind of what I would call normal business hours.
It's 2 a.m.
Also true. Yeah. You're winning here. You're winning. But I miss you.
I miss you as well. Look.
We need a dinner or something. We need to have dinner or something.
With all this going on, dude, I haven't left my house since March.
That's awesome.
I mean, so Ike, you and me are the same. Store.
Listen,
yeah, no, I haven't been on the road at all, and I get retailers busting my balls all the time, and I'm like, cool, can you guarantee my safety? Have you been quarantined? No. Cool, I'm not coming to your store. It's as simple as that. Like I got a family. I'm not putting them at risk just to sell a cigar.
That's why I wanted to bust balls.
Well,
that's what I wanted to bust.
No,
I didn't mean to crash the ball busting here, but while you guys were sharing a story about our good friend Brian, I went to dig up an old picture, which is indicative of Brian's time at Havana House. This was just a random day. The date on this picture says September 6th. It was just some random day. I walked into the store.
It's not a random day, fuckface. It's my birthday.
Oh shit! It is. Oh wait, that's the wrong picture. Hold on. That's for the next thing. Hold on.
It's completely random.
Is this it? God, why does this picture keep wanting to come up? Facebook. I'm trying to do a thing here. I'm just gonna share the screen. Here we go. This picture of Brian. This is this.
We've all seen him there.
Yeah, this is. I took this picture of Brian because this was like at 4:30 on on September 6th on Tony's birthday. Brian just his arms wrapped up in his shirt, passed out in this chair. He's got the big can. You look how on brand that is, Ike. He's got the big can over here. That's just that's Brian. That's what we know. That's what we love.
I'll tell you, he's on character because I feel like in New Orleans, on the side of the pool, he had the arms, when you're in school and you're cold and you pull your arms through your shirt, same kind of setup.
Well, this other picture that keeps popping up here is this. What I wanted to show is the last time, since Tony was complaining about seeing you, I think the last time maybe we saw you, or maybe it wasn't, or it was recent, was September 23rd, 2016.
No.
Had the cigar dinner. This is just the last time I have visual evidence, maybe.
No.
Is that the one at the, what's that?
Station Square.
Attached to the motel.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a little like 3D picture here. We had a bunch of people there that night. I remember. Oh, we got a little Gino action.
Gino.
A little
NAB.
Yeah, a little cupcake.
Yeah.
Oh
AB.
boy.
Cupcakes in the house.
Cupcakes is not in a suit. What?
Well, neither is Gino. I like Gino's style. Gino's like, I come in how I want. That's how that rolls. But
Gino should have stock in Tommy Bahama. If he did, he'd be a very rich man.
Well, one of my best nights ever, I won't go into detail of it, but one of my best nights ever on the road was with AB. And it was an amazing night, and Impact Force all together. I won't tell you about it because it takes no. It's not like it's off the record. It's just too long, and it won't be enjoyable for the listener. But it was one of my favorite nights. But he and I had so much fun, and at a dive bar where shots were like $3, we somehow managed to get a bill up to like $800.
Oh my God. Well, I this night is memorable to me for one specific reason, is that we drank a lot at this dinner. We drank a fuck ton.
Yeah.
And then there's like a really there's like a sports bar like right across the street. What is that place called? Is that Shakers? I had never been to Shakers in my life.
We were sitting on the back patio.
Yes.
Didn't I punch AB in the face that night?
I think you did.
There was a little dust up. Yeah.
Dust up. Yep.
Well, all I can remember is that like I was plastered when we got there. I had barely gotten to Shakers. And then I remember sitting.
Brandon, you were crying.
You were crying.
I was a mess.
Yeah.
I was a mess. Okay. And all I can tell you is that we were on the back patio. Tony brings a round of beers. AB then brings a round of shots. And like I do the shot, I'm already crying and fucked up. And then I'm trying to nurse this beer. I'm thinking if I could just slow roll this beer and survive. But I'm already thinking there is no way on earth I can drive. I'm like panicking. And then I don't know who brought another round of shots and beers come out. And I am like,
probably Ike.
And that's when I'm starting to panic. I called it the person that I was seeing at the time. I called them and I was like, please come and save my ass right now. I could barely speak. And then I just ghosted y'all. I was out.
My question is, it looks like AB is talking to my dad.
Yeah.
And that Ike and I are wondering what the fuck my dad and AB are talking about.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are trying to find out what's
totally.
going on over there. I mean,
those two they're going off script in some way, shape, or form. We're trying to reel it in.
I do know that I went home with a lot of cigars that night. I do remember that. I had like a bundle. It was a fuck ton of cigars then.
Ike, what were you gonna say?
No, not to bore you, but Jeremy said, like great night out on the road. I'll give you a quick Gino story, which is also a great night out on the road.
We need to do a shot. People
Let's do a shot for Gino.
It's shot for Gino. People in the chat. Here we go.
Shot number 6.
Yeah, you'll remember. You probably remember this. So, when you're out on the road, it gets lonely, and there's people that you call friends, but then there's people that you really call friends, and people like you are like that. So me and AB were coming through your neck of the woods, and we're at your dad's. We're in his backyard. We're sitting around the fire pit, and he's pouring his wine, and we're drinking it, and it's kind of chilly, and we're smoking a cigar. And out of nowhere, Gino stands up and he says, and this is after hours of us bantering. We're intoxicated, we're bantering, we're talking shit, and blah, 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 blah. I know. And Gino stands up and he says, I'm going to bed. I'm not learning anything anymore. And, at the moment, I'm like, this is fucking great. I'm laughing, and, whatever. And then, like, the next day, I was thinking, like, I get that, man. This guy's a fucking OG. And there comes a point in a conversation or whatever interaction when you're like, I'm getting nothing out of this. I'm done. And it was just like the classic, like you basically, you three clowns can sit out here all night long, do whatever you want.
Ike, I was hoping,
but my dad
there,
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing out of this at all.
I was hoping you were going to say, I was hoping right now you were going to say that and then just click off and be like, fuck you guys. Like, I've got nothing more. And I was going to laugh so hard. It was such a perfect exit and you lost it. Like, it would have been the perfect, like Gino, bump, fuck you all.
That's why I'm not an OG like Gino. I mean,
Gino is Gino.
Would that be a Greek exit?
Last time I stayed with Tony, there was a complication because his basement was filled with stuff. So I stayed at his folks, but his folks were Gino's, but he was out of town. And so I thought of this great thing. I was going to film myself running around the house naked and then show it to Gino at the trade show. And then what happened is I realized that I'm fucking with Gino, and I was like, this dude would probably shank me if I did this. So I'm at the trade show. I didn't follow through with it. And then when I see Gino, I was like, hey, Pop, what's up? And I was like, look, thank you for letting me stay at your house. I had this great idea, and I was going to run around your house naked and like climb in your bed and take video of it and send it and show it to you. And he looked at me, he goes, it's a good thing you didn't. I'd kill you. But he said it so straight-faced, I was like, he would have magically pulled out some shank and I would have been gone. That's why Gino is amazing.
2 minutes later, he called Tony and said, when did this motherfucker stay at my house?
Yeah.
Probably. But he was like, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad he didn't fuck up my house. Like it was like, but it was like, I'm tolerating you, Jeremy, but I'm not going down this road with you, Jeremy. It was like this, all in one thing. And that's why I love Tony's dad, because like he looks like the most docile, kind, but he's like a no fucks, just like, you fuck with me. And it was just this perfect moment. And like Cupcakes was laughing when I said it, and Gino was just looking at me with this stare like, you're so lucky you didn't do it. And I was like, I'm so lucky I didn't do this.
I
made a good decision. I'm
trying to envision you going up on his headboard, teabagging his headboard.
Yeah.
And like how you would have filmed yourself doing it and how you could have ever imagined that you would then show him.
Oh, I told Tony, I was like, when I go, like tonight, I'm going to run around the house. And he's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think Gino would dig it. Instead of saying, I don't think my dad would dig it, I don't think Gino would dig that.
He calls him by his first name.
And then I'm like, and then I thought about it, and I was like,
Tony didn't say like, don't do it. He just said, I don't think it's a good idea. He wouldn't.
Right.
It's kind of a very nice way.
Because part of Tony wants to see me get shanked by his dad at the trade show floor. Like, hey, isn't this funny? I'm dead. Like,
he's in this moral conflict of like, it'd be really bad, but it'd be kind of cool to see what Gino does to Gino.
And it's funny because like Gino is like 4 feet tall, and I'm afraid still. It doesn't matter. Like
that's what we do. That's how we do.
No, it's how your dad does.
Yeah, it's actually how my dad does.
I don't think that.
Did you call my dad prior to meeting me? Do you remember?
No. I'll tell you. I mean, if you want to hear that story,
I do.
So, what's up, Maisha?
Sherman. What's that?
Are you okay, Ike? Are you all right?
I think he's just hearing stuff a little behind us.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, sorry. So, you guys know Barry Blonder?
Of course.
Oh yeah,
everybody knows Barry.
Yeah.
We're trying to have Barry on the show, but his schedule is not allowing it. But we'll have him eventually.
Yeah.
Anyways, great dude. He, like I've known him forever. He was in New York. He was sales rep for LaFleur in Manhattan, and great guy, phenomenal guy. So when I was the cool thing about when we kind of were kickstarting Nat Sherman, well, two things. One is like because we had a store, we were a customer of a lot of these companies. So in a weird way, a lot of companies didn't view us as like a competitor or a threat. They were helpful, like, hey, if you need help talking to this retailer, whatever. So I remember talking to Barry, and I was like, hey, I'm going through like the Western PA, and he's like, hey, have you talked to the Bellatos? And I'm like, no, what's the store? Oh, Havana House. I'm like, oh, I know the name. I don't know them. But in my head, like the Bellatos, Youngstown, Bellatos, I'm like, oh, they're gangsters, of course. And he's like, yeah, Gino and Tony. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta meet, like Gino and Tony. And he's like, yeah, reach out to this guy, Gino or Tony, and that's the son. And and in my head, it's like two Sopranos guys. Like one guy's this big and one guy's this big, with like the shirt and everything.
Adidas warm up.
And oh yeah, totally. So I go to the Niles store, and Tony wasn't there yet. We were supposed to meet. I don't know. We'll call it. Well, knowing Tony, it was probably like we're supposed to meet at 9:00 p.m.
It's probably 1:00 in the afternoon. That's how I rolled in.
Yeah, totally. And I get there a little early, and I think it was either Garrett or Brian. One of the guys were there. It was probably Brian. I'm like, oh, I'm from Nat Sherman. I come with like a suit and tie on, and they're looking at me like, "Was this guy a Fed? He's checking like tax." And I'm like, I'm here to see Tony Bellato, and in my head, this guy's gonna walk in, like, and they put me at one of those little cafe tables, and then Tony walks in, and we I like to think we hit it off. I don't know, and then we started doing business, but no, I had heard of your father, obviously, and your company from, I worked for Cousins in Cleveland growing up.
Yep. Danny.
And Danny and Gino have had, they've known each other forever. And it was kind of like, Danny's Cleveland, Gino is Youngstown and whatnot. But no, I'd never done business with your dad until I met you. And then after meeting you and then your dad, then I realized that I prefer to do business with your dad.
let's do a shot for that.
Yes.
And then maybe we'll wind this down. Oh, it's my least favorite shot of the night, guys. Here we go.
Yo, power to the people.
Shot number 7.
That's my favorite.
Me and Will are having a. Will, what's in May? Why is Will Marxist sending me a threat? Brandon Knoll, see you in May. I feel scared about this.
He's coming to town. He's coming to town.
Oh shit, that's gonna be a shit show,
dude. It's gonna be amazing for Tony. It's gonna be absolutely amazing for Tony and bad for you, Brandon. This Will's gonna. I'm making this shit up.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Just as long as he doesn't bring the gun with him, just leave the gun at home, Will.
He's from Boston, man. I don't know.
Tony, we rented that B&B spot. He's trying to see
that place. I looked it up. That place, Ike. Have you seen this place in Hocking Hills?
Oh fuck! That was your thing from last week.
Pull that up real quick for him. Check this place out.
Which one?
God, it took us forever to find this thing. That was called
the Cliffs at Hocking
Hills. I got it. Oh.
We're gonna rent this and have a party of Tecate and Jameson.
Tecate Brian levels of partying.
Is it the shipping containers?
No, look at this.
This place, they heat the waterfall. So the waterfall comes down and then
it takes so long to get to the fucking.
I know but it's such a dope house. It's 16 bedrooms.
Wow. How much was it a night? Like 1,500?
It's 800 a night.
800.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Are you serious?
I mean, 16.
Yeah,
Drew Estate.
That's $50 a bedroom.
Drew Estate could totally fund this. Can you make this happen, Ike? That's all I want to know.
Can Caldwell and LaBarba have their sales meeting on Drew Estate's dime?
Yeah. Yes, that's what we want to know. Hey, we like John.
We can call a lot of people to make this happen. Okay,
Here we go.
Look at that.
Go to the first picture.
800 a night.
That's
Come on.
That's $50 a bedroom. That's the cheapest.
I know.
Find.
And I want to spend the whole time in that pool, so I turn into like a grape that like lost its color.
Look at how insane that is.
Fucking crazy.
It's like a half hour east of Columbus.
Jesus.
No, I have not.
We're gonna make it happen.
To there's like some other place in the Hocking Hills where they took old shipping containers and turned them into like cabins.
I've seen
that. Cool modern. They're really hip.
We should just have like the trade show there. We'll just rent out Hocking Hills, like a bunch of shipping container houses, that badass house for the parties, and just do it that way.
You are so right, Jennifer.
Guys, we're at an hour and a half. I think it's time that we should close out and say our goodbyes.
Let's do a shot to say goodbye. No, look, I might as well almost finish it. We might as well finish it.
You got like a fifth of a bottle there.
I'll take a big gulp.
Oh my god.
Hey Brandon, we're just getting warmed up here, my friend.
Well, we don't have to quit talking, but we're gonna close out the main show. Well, maybe we can have a little off air.
Shirts?
I did. I was sweating my balls off. I had a hoodie on, and my computer setup generates quite a lot of heat, and I shut the door.
When we do this show. Over there without telling me?
What?
Are you mining for Bitcoin over there without telling me?
No, I just have a mining for Bitcoin.
My computer generates a lot of heat.
It does, and this is a small office, so it gets hot in here. I had to take my hoodie off. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Let's do a shot.
Shot number 8.
Wild turkey.
All right, so we'll see you all next season, and we have a bunch of cool shit.
We're gonna be off. We're gonna be off for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
No show. 2 weeks. But when we come back, we got a whole thing that's coming with us.
Smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord of hearken to past times.
So, Tony, you got a bag near you that you could just hold up to the screen? Got one of those bags that you just hold up.
Ike, are you in an attic? I just realized it. You're like roof.
Wait,
your
let me.
ceiling.
Wait, Tony, bring back.
Got a lot of bags.
Yeah, dude,
Tony's got some shit that we're gonna be dealing with.
I'm on the 3rd floor. My home office is in like a crawl space in my house.
That's amazing.
See, you know what I'm talking about, having a small office. I got multiple monitors, things going on. It gets hot in here. I take the hoodie off.
Can you stand up in it, or do you hit the roof? Because you're a tall guy.
No, I can stand up in most of it. You know, if I teeter over too far to one side, I hit my head.
Well,
dude, thank you, Ike, for joining us in our whatever this is.
Mm-hmm. Not a cigar podcast.
No, thank you guys.
I miss you, man.
You guys are great.
I'm excited to see you again.
Yeah,
we were saying that
see you guys in person.
Yeah, after all this fucking crazy is over.
Tony and I were saying when he went off that like most of the time we've seen each other, it's on the floor late at night, and we're all already at a 10. And like, but those are like the enjoyable moments, right? With friends where it's just like, let's do a shot when none of us need a shot. And it's just, that's the beauty of our industry, is that it is so cloistered and small that you actually get to develop real friendships with people beyond like, I represent this, I sell this, I do this. And like, you know, that's the part of the industry I love. So
no, totally, and it's all for the good of the industry. But I mean, I gotta say, I commend you guys for 2 seasons of this. What'd you say? 26 episodes.
28 episodes.
28 episodes, which Tony said was half a year, but that's more than half a year.
It is. It's just Tony is the runt of the family.
Tony, 52 divided by 2 is 26, but.
We did 16
no, I mean,
first season, and we did 12 now.
Like we were saying before, you know, or off camera, or whatever, the green room, whatever the fuck it is, you know, you guys have put a lot of effort on this, and it's really cool, and I hope you guys stick with it. And you know, if you want real viewership, don't have me, have real people.
No, I kind of feel.
Hey, Ike, can you get Michael on the show for us? Just kidding.
I really would wonder what would happen if we had Michael on the show, because I feel like we're a different.
He would come on in a heart.
No, Michael. What your perception, Brandon, of Michael is very different. He is such a good dude. Such a good dude.
I think we should do.
He would join.
Yeah,
we should do like a Ike AB Mike episode.
Oh my God. I would cry. I'd be in tears again. That would be AB brings it out of me.
Okay, remind me sometime on the show to tell my story with AB and my night on the road, my best night on the road. No, you know what? We'll do it when we have the reps on the next time, like stories from the road, and I'll share that story because it's an amazing story.
So to close it out real quick, Ike, where can everybody find you? Just give them another, like, what do you do? What I am, kind of, how can we find you? How can we get in touch? Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, so I went to Drew Estate.
Happy about it.
You just pulled a Tony Bellotto, because usually at the end of the episode, Tony's got the long pause and no answers.
Ike's like, I don't want you to find me.
No, well, no, I mean, if you find me, there's a problem. No, I've got social media. It's, you know, I have like 800 followers or whatever, like 1879 at whatever the fuck it is.
.com.
This is the brand. This is the brand of 4 shots right here. Whatever the fuck it is.
You 41?
42. I turned 42 last month.
Oh, you just got me beat by a few months. When your birthday was? I turned 42 in April. How funny is
cool story, bro?
Shut up, fucking Brandon.
You guys want to get on the rocking chair, smoke a pipe, and talk about the old times? Oh, I'm 42. I remember the radio.
Remember when the internet used to come in the mail?
You know what? I walked 5 miles in the snow every day to school, and fuck you.
I used to have to walk 5 miles to sell a cigar.
You never walked 5 miles. Uber carried you the whole way.
From the womb to the grave.
You never sold a cigar, neither.
I've sold a couple of cigars. We told that story before. It was off the books.
He had to fill in at Havana House when everyone was too shit-faced.
And I lied my ass off and just told people whatever. And
hey,
they bought
Tony
it.
will tell you there's a difference between ringing up some cigars and selling some cigars.
Yeah.
That's really true, Ike, and you're very perceptive because I've been
Shut
working.
up!
No, it's very true.
Listen, I've been working at the steel factory I've been at for almost 13 years. I'll be going on 13 years. And but my job before this, I did 11 months.
I hear a Bruce Springsteen song playing in the background.
Here in
Brandon.
Born in the USA.
What are you talking about, dude? Go with Youngstown. At least claim your own state.
Anyway, I was working in car sales before I got into the steel industry more than a decade ago. Oh shit, Jeremy's just finishing that off. So, but I had a sales manager, a very, very Irish man named Dave Flanagan. And I was at this place in Cuyahoga Falls selling cars. And one day I finished a sale. I was really proud of myself. I come in at the paperwork and everything. The guy's already signed it, deposit, all this bullshit.
It's about the gold.
And I set it in front of Dave, and he just looks at me, Ike, and he looks at the paperwork. He doesn't say a fucking thing. I was happy. I was feeling good. He looks up at me and he's like, Brandon, I don't know what to fucking tell you. He goes, you're a fucking terrible salesman. He goes, I had made the sale. I had got the deposit, everything I'm supposed to do. He goes, "You're fucking."
You're thinking on the hottest shit on the planet.
I was feeling good about myself. You know everything.
Yeah, but you didn't sell the extended warranty,
right? But listen, everything
the spray coating on the
everything
bottom.
you learn about like management and sales and like positive reinforcement. None of that. He's like, "You're a fucking terrible salesman." And my heart like drops into my asshole. I'm like, the fuck is he about to say?
And then Brandon, you went, I'm going to become a poet.
I was already a poet. I was already a poet long before then.
No, but you gave your heart to it.
But the follow-up was, he goes, but you are one hell of a clerk. And I didn't get what that meant at the time. You're a terrible salesman, but you're one hell of a clerk. Which I asked my coworker, what did he mean by that? He's like, well, you're just really good at carrying the paperwork from one room to the next. You're really good at just moving the paperwork from one place.
All right.
That's amazing.
We'll see you guys next season. This
3.
shit,
yeah, but
it's gonna get a little bit better.
Now, I guarantee you he's not producing a podcast.
Right.
That's very successful.
10 people
very well watched.
Hey, Brandon, this is where you go like this.
Dave Flanagan, wherever you are.
Yeah, fuck you, Dave Flanagan.
Dave Flanagan's he's producing Joe Rogan's radio show.
Yeah,
and it's been wrapped all around.
Fucking Will Marks. Look at this. He doesn't even spell my name right. That's what I get. All right, we're not even going to tell you where Jeremy and Tony can be found at because it takes too long to hear all of Tony's places.
Hey, Tony, let's do it at the same time. Ready, go. The California Hillbilly at Instagram.com.
Cigars at coffeecompany.com.
You know what you know what I thought of just before we close out season 2 here? You know what I thought of while we were watching this? I saw Michelle Stewart was in the chat and talking.
Yeah, we never got to respond to her.
I know, but
we were like in the middle of the conversations when it happened.
What did she say? Bring her up. Pull her thing up.
She already left.
She left.
She left. She said goodnight. But you know what I thought of is when I would watch shows like Anthony Bourdain shows and stuff, he would always talk about the restaurants that would be open after the restaurants close, and all the people who work in restaurants, the bars and the restaurants that they would go to after hours to hang out at. And I kind of feel like the vibe of this show, almost, it's not like the consumer podcast for like the cigar consumer podcast. It's almost should be the cigar podcast for that's like the place that's open after the restaurants close, and all the restaurant people go there to like hang out.
Finally read Kitchen Confidential, huh?
I started reading it on the audio. I started listening to it at work, but because Tony recommended it to me. But I feel like that's kind of the vibe here. Oh, Jesus. Jeremy did finish that fucker. I kind of feel like that. Maybe that's the vibe. That's where, this is for industry peeps or whatever.
It's for people.
Yeah, but you got to get it broader than that.
Yeah.
And we're not even interested in telling all of our socials and things like that. We can't get through.
Nah, fuck you. Let's close it.
All right. Goodbye, season 2. We will see you 2 weeks from now, everybody, with a bunch of fresh shit.
Thanks, Ike.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You don't have to leave, Ike.